All right, so sometimes Nike has to remind us that they are kings of what they do, and this is a pair that was definitely a awakening moment for me. So this is the Nike Vomero 18s, and I've been a fan of the Vomeros in the past. I've tried previous versions. This one is definitely, like, hands down my favorite version that I've ever tried, and might be one of just the best Nikes on the market if you're looking for a comfortable pair of sneakers. This is a pair that I believe is going to be replacing the Invincible run. And Nike's kind of realigning their running segment, so it has 3 different tiers. The comfortable tier is the Vomeros. Now, I don't know if they're gonna have like a premium version of these like they have the Pegasus. The Pegasus was excellent. It was $210 though, kind of expensive, but a very interesting mix of a bunch of different things. Not quite as functional as a runner, in my opinion, just because of the layers, and they're a little bit heavier than expected. This, however, the Vomero is insane. Like, it's so good from a max cushion, plush comfort, like daily runner sort of vibe, and something that you can wear every day as well and just really feel good. So I'm proud to like show you guys this shoe. I've been wearing them the last week, got them pretty dirty, taking them on a number of runs and walks with the dogs and walks to the parks with the fams and everything else. Anyways, my overall experience in the last 2 weeks of these have just been amazing, so I wanted to give you guys my overall thoughts and let you guys know kind of any pros or any cons about these. Now, if you guys are interested in buying a pair of them, I will link them in the description of the video. If you guys do use my link, it directly supports the channel and the family when you guys do that. So link you right over to Nike if you buy a pair of these or anything with that link from Nike. I do get a little bit of a kickback, but it lets Nike know that you guys support the channel, so greatly appreciate when you do that. They do cost $150, and the fit, in my opinion, true to size, perfect. 9.5 fits me perfectly, you know, I'm just really pleased with the overall feeling of these on feet. This colorway also is super fire. I don't know, let's see what the box says. It is Summit White and Black. I really like it. It has black pods on the bottom, a little bit of white where the exposed foam is, and then a little bit of silver accents and black Nike swooshes, black for the lace piping down here, and then a black little Nike swoosh on the back. A little bit of gray on the outsole as well. It does say Road on one shoe, and it says Vomero on the other, on the insole. And then the tongue says Run Vomero 18, which I really like the Nike swoosh Run logo there. I think that looks really clean. The branding is pretty nice on the midsole as well. You have a large pod here on the side that does say Zoom X on it. And then if you look on the heel, I love that they added this detail in here. It says Zoom X arrow upwards and then React X arrow downwards. So you can see dual density foam here. You have React X, you have Zoom X. Zoom X is kind of the lighter, softer version. React X is a little bit more dense, but it's still very comfortable overall. And here is the weight of this in a 9.5. We have 11 ounces, so it is a little bit heavier. I love to see running sneakers sub 10 ounces, but 11 ounces for what you get in here is pretty exceptional. And considering you have a nice amount of tread on the bottom, and just the overall ride and the experience on feet was really pleasant. So my experience might not match yours. I'm a little heavier set dude. I have a little bit of a flatter foot, throwing that out there. So my definition of comfort might not match your definition. Also, some days I like a smaller stack of foam. Some days I like a bigger stack, but this is one of those shoes that offers a bigger stack of foam. It's very comfortable. You feel a lot of squish in the heel, a pretty decent amount on the forefoot, not as much as other stuff on the market, but for the price point of $150, you get something in this shoe that I feel like is pretty darn good. Now, I did want to mention the overall feel for me feels like a max cushion shoe, again with the max stack of foam, but also you have a nice amount of cushioning around the tongue and a nice amount of cushioning around the collar. Sometimes you have sleeker, faster shoes that don't have as much padding for the reason of them supposed to be sleeker and faster. Like the Adidas Evo SLs, those are super sleek, super fast looking. You have the Rebel V4s from New Balance. Again, super sleek, super fast looking, very lightweight. This is like more in the max cushion category where it's supposed to be more padding, more, you know, just overall mileage or whatever, slower pace if you're running, but overall just great like walking shoe as well. And the cushioning and the padding are excellent, and it's definitely something that I appreciate. I also really like the mesh, how you have different ventilation sizes. It's something other brands have been doing a lot of, and it's nice to see Nike's version of that. So you have like a dual like mesh layer, a larger gauge over top of the toe box area where more ventilation is needed. Also on both of the side panels, you have that larger mesh, and then you have finer engineered mesh around the toe cap, and then up through the laces or by the laces, and then around the collar. You also have these silver metallic dashes throughout the upper. That looks like it adds a little bit of texture, but it also probably adds a little bit of durability to the upper as well. Now, I did try the Vomero 17s, and they were really good as well. It was like a more plush version of like a Pegasus, in my opinion. Just a lot more cushioning overall. The 18s, though, I think are much better than the 17s. And then what Nike says, max cushioning in a Vomero provides a comfortable ride for everyday runs. Our softest, most cushioned ride has lightweight Zoom X foam stacked on top of responsive React X foam in the midsole. Plus, a redesigned traction pattern offers a smooth heel-to-toe transition. Engineered mesh upper for soft breathability, dual density midsole as we already mentioned. Pods around the outsole help enhance agility and smoother heel-toe transition. Plush tongue and lining for a comfortable snug feel. And the heel-toe drop is 10 mm, which is pretty significant. Anyways, after 52 reviews over on Nike's website, 5 out of 5 stars from reviews from people. So I feel like that is significant. So they're comfortable, but how comfortable are they? Well, to compare it to a couple other models that I wore them side by side to, the Vomero 18 is much softer than the Saucony Hurricane 24. Love that shoe. Price point on that one, I believe, is around 150s or 160s or something like that as well. But the Saucony Hurricane was a little bit firmer on feet than these. Kind of the same sort of feel, max cushion vibes, but these ones were, again, softer. Next to the Balos from New Balance. The Balos was much softer on feet than the Vomeros. Also, the Balos from New Balance for me, much softer, like heel-toe transition, just overall better. But the Balos is a $200 runner, so this is $150. It's not really comparable in price, but overall feel on feet, I would say the Balos was better. Also, another shoe that was better in my opinion, the Glycerin Max from Brooks. Those are incredible on feet. I absolutely love those, but they're also another $200 runner. So comparatively, you can't really compare the price. They're both max cushion sort of vibes. The Glycerin Max is just overall much more max cushion in the heel and more in the forefoot. Now the big question, the Invincibles versus the Vomeros. The Vomeros surprised me because the Vomero actually had more forefoot cushioning and just an overall better cushioning setup and feel on feet than the Invincible 3s did, in my opinion. Now again, I'm a little bit heavier than you maybe, but I definitely felt the heel squish in the Vomeros better than the Invincibles, and I felt more forefoot squish in these than the Invincibles as well. The Invincible run has a wider base overall on the forefoot, but for some reason this is just softer and just a little bit more responsive than even the Invincibles, and the Invincibles were 190. So I feel like for the price point, what you're getting here, you're getting a much better shoe than even the Invincible runs. To be 100% honest though, I was not a big fan of the Invincible 3s. The upper to me just ruined the shoe. The midsole was nice, but I really liked the Invincible 1s and 2s better. Invincible 3s were okay. The Vomero 18 being a replacement potentially for the Invincible 3, I'm there for it. I honestly like this shoe better. The overall fit, feel of the upper, much more streamlined, much better. Not as rigid. The mesh again is super good, but the midsole story is excellent with the dual density foam. The Zoom X is done right. The heel toe drop is pretty significant with 10 mm, meaning it's smaller in the front and much larger in the back. But for some reason, when you're walking around with them, it is a smooth heel toe transition. When you're walking around, you feel pretty nice overall. You don't have as much cushioning in the forefoot as you do in other stuff, but it still felt like the Glycerin Max is better. I would say even the 1080V 14s from New Balance is better than this, but overall the package that they delivered here is excellent. And I forgot I've been wearing these as well side by side. I have a review coming of the Cloud Surfer 2s very soon. This is I think another $160 pair or something like that. Cloud Surfer 1 was my favorite from On, and I feel like the Vomero 18 is even better than the Cloud Surfer 2. Comfort wise, everything across the board, this is a really good shoe. I'm actually very impressed with the Vomero 18 from my perspective. From somebody that runs casually, not somebody that needs for sprinting, but I have shoes for that, even though I'm not a sprinter. But for the lightweight summer shoes, I would definitely go with the Rebel V4s from New Balance. And then from Adidas, I definitely love the Evo SLs. Those are unbelievably good. If you haven't seen my review of those, check that out. But those shoes are unreal for like a lightweight, like very soft, also for a very breathable pair for summertime. Those two are excellent. The Vomero 18 though is a little bit heavier at 11 ounces. A lot more cushioning here, definitely something more for the average person that doesn't necessarily need to go fast. Want something that's very comfortable, well cushioned, and just overall like a treat and enjoyment for your feet. Like honestly, I just was looking forward to wearing these each day that I threw them on, and they did wonders. They really did their job. And for the price point of $150 instead of like a $170, $180 price point, I really dig that. They're coming into the market with a really competitive price point and a very premium, well-built, well-designed product in a really nice colorway too. I really like this colorway. But man, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about these. I will have a top 10 comfort sneakers for 2025 video. This is going to be one that's going to be in it for sure. I'm waiting on one other pair, but I really like these. Definitely recommend for somebody that's looking for a casual shoe that needs comfort. Nice heel-toe transition when you're walking around. Lots of cushioning, lots of padding. Semi-gusseted as well, did I mention? It's semi-gusseted, so the tongue stays in its position, even though you do have a standard tongue, which I do love as well. Again, the upper is just perfect. You have extra reinforced areas for breathability, so they breathe well on your feet. The traction is nice as well. The only thing I would change about these is maybe the heel-toe drop being like a 6 mm instead of a 10 mm, so you'd have just a little bit more forefoot. but then that would make these probably a little bit more expensive. At the end of the day, that's the only thing I could think of that would probably make these just a little bit even more max cushion, a little bit better. But Nike did a great job on these. This is definitely one of those ones that I'll be wearing on a regular. But leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think about the Vomero 18? Is it something that has piqued your interest or not? Personally, I mean, yes, and yes, I recommend. Link in the description if you want to buy them. Again, support the channel. But if you are interested in buying them, if you use my link again, Nike does see that, and greatly appreciate it. Hopefully I can work with Nike more in the future if you guys do that more. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the look at these after wearing these for a couple weeks. They've been excellent. Make sure you have notifications on and check back for that most comfortable of 2025 video. I think it'll be a good one. I have lots and lots of research and a lot of different pairs for you guys on that. But have a good one. Hopefully see you back for some more content. All right, peace guys.